Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Rotimi Adesanya. I'm a family physician with the As a Pediatrician Foundation. I want to welcome all of us to ATP Live this evening. I will be standing in for Dr. Gbemi, our CEO and founder, the consultant pediatrician who is unavoidably absent this evening. So today we want to look at immunization. Every last week in the month of April is set aside as World Immunization Week. Every last 7 days in the month of April is set aside as World Immunization Week. And this is normally done on a yearly basis. So this year, World Immunization Week happens to be the 50 years of the campaign for expanded program on immunization. In these 50 years, through vaccination, immunizations, we have been able to eradicate smallpox infection. We have also been able to defeat polio and many other disease. We have been able to put COVID-19 disease under control. So we have been able to do all this through the EPI program and the immunization program. So this year is actually the 50 years of the campaign for expanded program on immunization. This evening, we'll be talking to ourselves about immunization, the rudiments. What does immunization mean? What does vaccination mean? Is there any difference between vaccination or immunization? What are vaccines? And what are the routine immunization schedule for our children in Nigeria? And what is the new breakthrough vaccine that have just been developed in the country? I want you to put your comments on the Facebook. Then I also want our members to help to share the video on the Facebook group, to help us to share them on the Facebook group. And I want you also to send your questions. Any question pertaining to childhood immunization, I will be glad to entertain them. Let us start by defining what vaccines are. What is a vaccine? A vaccine is actually a form of drugs or a foreign agent that is introduced into the body. Vaccines are like drugs, but vaccine contains, most times, they contains the infection, a minute or micro parts of the infection we are trying to treat. So vaccines are more or less like drugs. So that's why you expect people to also have side effects, just like our drugs have side effects. But we doctors have tried to minimize the side effects to the barest minimum. The side effects are not the one that are life So I want us to be reassured that when we take our children for this immunization, even as new ones are coming, the side effects are under control. The government is in charge, is controlling everything. And the health workers, the doctors too, they will not do harm to any of our children. So tonight, let us interact about the immunization, since this week is World Immunization Week for 2024. So, and the theme is that we should all come together to talk about this immunization. Together, we can defeat all the other infections that are troubling our children. So I will move on. I've just talked about vaccine. The vaccination is simply the process of administering that vaccines Some vaccines are taken orally, like the oral polio vaccine, like the rotavirus vaccine. These are taken orally. So the process of administering it is what we call vaccination. Also, some are through injectables, which the Americans normally refer to as jabs. The injectables, the process of injecting the children is also what we call the vaccination. Then we move to immunization. Immunization is like the end product of vaccination. When you get the injection or the vaccine, your body or our children's body will develop immunity, or the immune system they already have will become more fortified. We become more strengthened to fight infections. That is what we call immunization. So immunization is simply development of or fortifying of the immune system in human beings and other animals. So as far as United is concerned, the immunization is simply fortifying the immune system of our children against all the childhood diseases, all the communicable ones. In the past, they call these diseases childhood killer diseases. In the past, we had a lot of infant mortality. Many of the children, die from preventable illnesses. But thank God, the infant mortality is improving, especially those that are from causes of communicable diseases. The figures are reducing. The figures of infant mortality are reducing. Thank God to the immunization schedule, which is properly organized now. Now, we talk about the childhood immunization, the childhood immunization schedule now. The first are 3. We have the oral polio vaccine, BCG, you prevent children from having tuberculosis. And you have the hepatitis B vaccine, which is normally also given at birth. The hepatitis to our children. The first one is given on the thigh. That is being right from the labor ward or within the first 24 hours. The second one which is the third one that is given orally, that is the oral polio vaccine. All these, our children are expected to take them from birth. Our children are expected, some conditions may happen. Some children where they don't have that vaccine, but even with that, they must take that vaccine within the first 2 weeks of life. No past the 2 weeks, the person may miss that opportunity. So for those that don't have the opportunity of getting it at birth, they must make sure that the first 2 weeks, these vaccines are administered to our children, and it will also in our environment. It's common in our environment. So and once you give it to the baby before carrying the baby home, the baby is protected from tuberculosis, oral polio, and also the hepatitis is given at birth. Then we move to the other vaccines that are given at 6 weeks. The mother is expected to go back to the hospital with the newborn at 6 weeks after birth. Is expected to go back 6 weeks after birth for the second doses of the immunization. Then also the third doses are given at 10 weeks, while the fourth doses are given at 14 weeks. This second, third, and fourth are basically the same vaccines that are given. They are given at 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 14 weeks, and I will list them. The first is the pentavalent vaccine. Penta means 5. This pentavalent vaccine has 5 vaccination inside. I will need to pause. There is a question here. Good evening, Dr. Rotimi. Please, how do I assist a child with dyslexia and cannot write numbers or alphabet? He's 5 years old. Madam Igwe, thanks for giving us feedback. I want you to know that a child with dyslexia is a form of disability. This child will benefit more by seeing a pediatric neurologist or a child developmental pediatrician. Thank God our CEO, Dr. Gbemi Boyede, is also one, is a child developmental pediatrician. So your child will benefit from seeing one. You can easily get the services of this one in specialist hospital, either private or public. But more easily, you can get them in the public hospital, in our teaching hospital. You take the child to see a pediatric neurologist or child developmental pediatrician, or you can also request to have a private consultation or a private chat with our founder, who is a child developmental pediatrician, like I have said. So the child will be helped to get out of this condition. I'm sure you heard about Pelumi, the lady that drove from London to Lagos. The lady said when she was younger, she was diagnosed of being dyslexic. But through treatment, through seeking medical attention, she was able to get out of dyslexia. You can see that the lady recently, broke Guinness Book of Record by driving from London to Lagos. So, thank you, Dr. Rotimi. Okay, Pa Ogunlade, you are welcome, sir. We thank you for supporting us. Then Glory Joseph, my child is 2 months plus. He has leg cramp because of this. He don't sleep. What can be the cause? Well, many children will not be able to talk. So how do you know that the child has leg cramps? Is it that the child become restless at night? Because the child of 2 months will not be able to say he or she is having leg cramps. But if you have a child that is normally restless at night, I will advise you, try to see a pediatrician. Let the child be examined, let the child be assessed, and tests will also be done for the child so that the child will be able to sleep well. Or do you mean that the child was just rolling on the bed, but it may not be leg cramps like you have suggested here? So try and see a pediatrician, the child could be helped. From Felicia Akman, my baby clocked 6 months today. She was on exclusive breastfeeding. I started complementary feeding, giving her pap, and she has been vomiting since morning after taking it. Okay, change is normally difficult to accept. So if today is the first day you are starting complementary feeding on your baby, I will advise you to take it easy with your baby. Just try to do the complementary feeding once or twice, while you also still support with the breast. It's gradually that this baby will get used to it. It's a change. The baby has always enjoyed the breast milk, which is very liquid, compared to the pap, which is semi-solid. Then the pap, I hope the pap you are giving is fortified. Do you put additions there, like adding drop of palm oil? And do you make the pap palatable to the child? You may need to put something like small sugar to sweeten the pap for the baby to take. So if today is the first day your child is taking the pap, you may expect baby. Meanwhile, continue to use the breast milk to support the baby. So going back to the immunization we are talking about, I mentioned last that 6, 10, and 14 weeks, babies are expected to be taken back to the immunization center, to the primary health care center, or wherever we are immunization. One of them is pentavalent vaccine combined in one jab. 5 are inside one injection, and the 5 include hepatitis B. Hepatitis B, that is the second dose. Haemophilus influenza B is also there. Then you also have diphtheria, pertussis, and tetanus. Those 5 are inside the pentavalent vaccine, and it's normally given to our children on their time. They are normally given to them on their time. So after the pentavalent, they are also giving the pneumococcal vaccine on the right side, the second time. Then they are also giving what we call rotavirus vaccine. This is given orally. Rotavirus vaccine is given orally. Rotavirus vaccine prevents our children from having diarrhea and vomiting, This is given orally at 6 weeks, 10 weeks, and 14 weeks. Just like I have said that the pentavalent is also given at 6 weeks, 10 weeks, and 14 weeks, which means that after 6 weeks, you have to take the baby back the second month and the third month to get these vaccines. Then we also have the IPV, injectable polio vaccine. So then after this phase, the 14 weeks, about 3 months, when our children now enter 6 months, they are to be taken back to the health center or to the hospital, because we also use the vaccination period to do check-up for our children. At that 6 months, the doctor will use the opportunity to check the weight of the baby, to check the height of the baby, to examine the baby for any abnormality, to be at least 2 times of their birth weight. So the 6-month vaccine is just to go back and check whether the baby is growing well. Then in addition, we give vitamin immune booster for our children. Vitamin 8 months, just immunity of our children. So that is up to 6 months. Let me take this question before coming back. Of 6 months with 2 teeth below is running temperature since the early hours of the morning. So I checked and I noticed a swollen gum, and she's about growing up teeth. Please, do I keep managing fever with paracetamol? Teething causes fever, but the type of fever we see in teething is said to be low-grade fever. And this fever, by the time you use paracetamol for once or twice, the fever will subside. And such children, they play, they are active compared to, because the fever could also be from infection, it could be from malaria and other things. But the difference is that children whose fever are due to teething, they play around. The fever is low grade, it's not too high. But while the other type of fever, the temperature is so high, then the children will not be active, may look ill, they are likely to look ill. So these ones are to be, so if the fever persists after 2 or 3 days, you may need to just take the baby to the hospital for the doctor just to check, to reaffirm or to reconfirm to you that this fever that your child is having is teething. But fever from teething is normally low grade, and the children plays around, they eat, and the fever are normally suppressed with 1 or 2 doses of analgesic. But if the fever now persists, such children should be taken to the hospital to be for doctor's care. From Igwe Adaora, I will opt for private consultation because I have seen a pediatrician and neurologist in a teaching hospital, but was referred to a speech therapist. Yes, truly, dyslexia is not something that is cured overnight. You need the services of speech therapists. So if you are already seeing a pediatric neurologist, if there is no harm in seeking a second opinion, you can also opt for a private consultation, like you said, for a second opinion. But the truth is that dyslexia is something that stays, it's a disability. So you need the service of this speech therapists. They are the one that will help this child, they have to visit you frequently, like weekly, for 6 months before you now take the child back for reassessment. I believe that your child will do well. Just if you want a second opinion, there is no harm in that. You can opt for that, but you still need the service of speech therapists. And the speech therapists, apart from the one you go and see them, you may still need their service in the home or in the child school. They will help the child to overcome this disability that the child is having. So I wish you the best, Mrs. Igwe. So your child will get better, will get improved, like the testimonies of many people that have dyslexia. Your child will have a testimony from this also. So going back to our immunization schedule, after 6 months, I have said that at 6 months, the baby is expected to be twice of the birth weight, at least twice of the birth weight. Many children are most likely be more than ×2, especially children that are exclusively breastfed. They are most likely more than twice, but we don't expect any child to be less than ×2 of the birth weight at 6 months. So we use that opportunity to check them and the opportunity to give them a vitamin A supplement. So then after that, we have to bring the child back at 9 months for measles and yellow fever vaccine. These are given subcutaneously. They are given subcutaneously. That means under the fat. They are given subcutaneously under the fat. Under the fat, that's subcutaneous. So that's given at 9 months. Then at singular, Joy at singular, good evening, doctors. Please, can anything be done to a child of a year plus showing sign of strabismus? Yes, you need to see a doctor. You need to see a doctor, preferably a pediatric neurologist. The child will be helped. There is no condition that one will not be able to help them. Okay, one of our followers, our daddy, is asking, where is Dr. Gbemi? Dr. Gbemi is with us in the spirit today, sir. She's not here physically, but she is with us today in the spirit. She's here at the background, monitoring everything. She has some exigencies that will make her not to appear physically. She's here with us in the spirit, and she's here. She's at the background. Shukurat Abukari. What causes vomiting and hotness in a 9-month baby? Yeah, so many things that can cause vomiting and hotness, infection, pneumonia, and the rest. They can cause this one. So this child will need to be taken to the hospital. The doctor will examine the child. They will also of viral infection, or if it's due to malaria, all this one will cause vomiting and hotness. But you can give your child first aid. If the vomiting is too much, you can give oral radiation, ORS supplement. If the child is more than 6 months, ORS solution, or you can give paracetamol as a first aid before taking the child to the baby. Check the temperature of the baby, tape-sponge the child. You need to tape-sponge the child to lower the temperature. If the temperature is not going down, you can you give paracetamol and start taking the child to the hospital. It's not every fever you give paracetamol, but if you have tried other means like tape-sponging, exposing the child, and it is till there, you can give a start dose while you're on your way to the hospital, because you don't want the child to convulse before you get to the hospital. Shukurat, I wish you the best. We pray that your baby will be fine. From Faith Emmanuel, good evening, doctor. My baby of 6 weeks woke up with this morning with discharge on the right, and this is the third time I have noticed the same eye, though the eye is always clear. Please, what could be the cause? Yes, your child could be having infections of the eye. So, like you have done the right thing. We normally advise on this platform that once you notice discharge, try to clean it with clean clothes or clean cotton wool and water. If you have done that 2 or 3 times and it's coming back, it's likely to be infection. So the child needs to be taken to the hospital for the doctor to examine the child and properly or probably prescribed an antibiotics, either the one they will drop in the eyes or orally. So you need to take the child to the hospital because the condition keeps persisting. So Odunola Bello, thanks doctor, may Allah continue to protect you all. We are on exclusive and it's 4 months hale and healthy. Thanks for your teachings. Yes, we are thumbs up for Mrs. Odunola Bello. We encourage our parents to do exclusive breastfeeding. The benefit is enormous. Your child is less likely to have allergy compared to the other children that take substitutes. Your child is less likely to have diarrhea illnesses compared to the other child. Also economically, you use the money to also eat to feed yourself. There will also be bonding between you and your child. The level of the bonding will increase between you and your child. Thumbs up for you, Mrs. Odunola Bello. So, Mrs. Oluwatoyin Samuel, well done, sir. My baby will be a year on 29th of this month. Whenever she lay down, she won't be able to stand up by herself until we help her up. What can we do to help her? Okay, these are childhood milestones where some children could be late starter, but we need to know what has been happening before now. Did your child start to sit at the normal time that she's expected to sit? Did the child crawl at the normal time that the child is expected to crawl? Is the child neck standing at the neck child at 1 year, the child is expected to stand up, but some children are late starters, some may need support. So we need to see then the birth history. Was there any problem when the child was born? But the child may not even have any problem. So, but we need to get the milestone history. What happened at 3 months? Was the next standing at 4 months? Was the baby sitting at 6 months? Was the baby crawling about 7 to 8 months? Was the baby making effort to stand at 10 to 12 months? So with this, you'll be able to, but just continue to give the child support. In the next 1 month, reassess the child. If you are not too comfortable, get back to us through the Facebook platform. We'll be able to, willing to assist. Good evening, doctor. What can cause recurring oral thrush in a baby of 1 year? And how can it be prevented? This is from Onodipe Odupe Seriki. Good evening, doctor. What can cause recurring oral thrush in 1 year? Yes, Mrs. Onodipe. Yes, a 1-year-old child will have oral thrush and to be shared so that one will be sure that immunity is not low. But it's common in child that are immunosuppressed, child whose immunity are low, child who are having infections. So they are likely to have oral. So you need to, if recurrent, you need to take the child to the doctor to see the doctor for treatment. From Mrs. Shoyoye, thanks for all you do. Thank you too for following us on all our platforms. From Mrs. Ramat Adenike Ibrahim, may God bless you, doctor. Please, my baby of 2 years, sometimes pouring saliva. It may take her for a month. it will stop for some time and reappear again. Since when she was 7 months, most especially when she wants to bring out teeth. Mrs. Ramat, this is expected. When the child is teething, there is excess salivation because the child will also be itching the gum. The child there, so many of them will come with excess salivation. So, like you have said, whenever she wants to bring out teeth, this is seen and is expected. Your child is fine, but reassess the child in a month or two time and get back to us. We also be able to assist. From Mrs. Oluwatoyi Samuel Oladimeji. Yes, sir. She's at the normal time, her neck to balance at 3 months. She start using her bonbon to move. Your baby is okay. Let's just give 1 or 2 months. This baby will walk self, not only to stand by herself. Give the baby 1 or 2 months and come and share your testimony on the ATP platform. Your baby will walk soon. Your baby will start standing. Your baby will start standing and your baby will walk soon. Thank you very much for the feedback. So going back to the childhood immunization we're talking about, we stop at 9 months. So also after 9 months, you have to bring the child back to the doctor when the child will be 1 year. We are all expected to take our child for 1 year check. We are expected to bring the child back to see the doctor at 1 year to see what's next. 1 year is a milestone. We know this is the time we celebrate our children's birthday. This is the time that they start working. This is the time, so many things are done for them. So at 1 year, our children are placed on second dose of vitamin A, the second supplement. They are given at 1 year. That's when they are given the second dose of vitamin A. I omitted meningitis vaccine. That is also given at 9 months with the measles and the yellow fever. So at 1 year, your child is reassessed, your child is reweighed and rechecked and given vitamin A as a supplement to boost the immunity the second time. The difference between the one that is given at 6 months, the difference between the one that is given at 6 months and the one that is given at 1 year, that's the vitamin A, is in the doses. At 6 months, we give a small 100,000 international units of vitamin A, but at 1 year, we give 200,000 international units. That's double of the dose that they are giving at 6 months. Then also, at 15 months, we are expected to take the child back for measles second dose of immunization. And it's normally given on the left arm subcutaneously. So these are the vaccines that are given to our children up to 15 months. So we encourage our parents not to stay away. We encourage our parents to be faithful, to do this thing religiously, to visit the health centers, their private settings where they take their vaccine religiously to get this vaccine and vaccinations done so that their baby can get immunization as a result of this. However, there are some other immunizations that are not in the expanded, that are not on the national program on immunization. These are normally paid for because it's not under the one the government are providing for. You know, they said there is no free lunch in Freetown. Even these ones that the government are giving our children free in the various health centers, somebody is paying for it. The donor agencies are paying for it. The government are paying for it. Other Western countries are also supporting. So somebody is paying for all these vaccines that we give our children. But however, there are some that are not presently subsidized, excuse me, by the government. So these ones that are not presently subsidized, that are not given by the government, are gotten in the private hospital, some subsidized, or some you have to pay the full amount for it. But these ones include the chickenpox vaccine that is normally given at 15 months, include the typhoid vaccine, which is normally given at 2 years. These two are not part of the national program on immunization. Parents that want their children to have it, we have to seek a private setting to get the chickenpox vaccine at 15 months, to get the typhoid vaccine at 2 years. Yes, Mrs. Olayinka is asking, is it okay to be giving multivitamins to baby always? It is not okay to be giving baby multivitamins always. For babies that are exclusively breastfed, they have all the vitamins that they need in their system. So those ones don't need vitamin supplementation. Then when your baby gets to the time of weaning, or the time you introduce the complementary feeding, you can give vitamins from time to time, but it's not to be given always. All the food that you are giving to your baby, they are fortified with vitamins. The milk that you are giving to your baby, they already have all the vitamins in them. For example, if you take the milk that you are giving to babies that are over 6 months, the milk that you give to them is the cow milk that you give to those that are over 6 months. Just go to the label, you see all the vitamins that are inside. So you don't need to start giving vitamins always to the baby. So they get all these vitamins from their food. They get all these vitamins for what they take. So I will just recap briefly. We said we have run through the vaccines that our children are expected to take in the first 2 years of life. We have also said that BCG, hepatitis B vaccine, and oral polio must be given at birth. But however, if there is no, if the things are not available, the parents should strive. Let me use that word. They should try all their best to make sure that they get this vaccine within the first 2 weeks of life for the children. Even though for the hepatitis B, we try as much as possible to get it within the first 24 hours of life. Then I will talk about the HPV vaccine, human papilloma virus. This has just been introduced into the national program on immunization. It's to be given to our children from the ages of 10 to 14 years. From the ages of 10 to 14 years. We call them adolescents. Some people say 9 to 14 years. It's to be given to adolescents, 10 to 14 years, human papilloma virus vaccine, and is given intramuscularly. For now, the government has put it in the national program on immunization for our young girls. This one will help them to prevent cervical cancer. And I must say, in addition to this vaccine, this immunization schedule, if a child is able to complete this, the child will get immunized. The child will get immunization. The defense system will be fortified. And if the child have the defense system fortified, such children will not have any of these communicable diseases. And also, two of these vaccines, the HPV and the HPV, hepatitis B and human papilloma virus, they also protect our children from having cancers in the future. The vaccine from Mrs. Uju Ellen. The vaccines for 2 years, can it be given to 5-year-old children? Exactly. Okay, this vaccine, if for any reason our children is missing any one of them, they can still take it when they are under the ages of 5. If you remember, when government is doing the national program on national immunization days and state immunization days, when they go from house to house to give our children immunization, they normally say that children under 5 So any child that is under 5 can still take this missed vaccination once they are under 5. Please, sir, which vaccine should be given at 2 years? Yes, we give the vaccines that are given at 2 years. Typhoid vaccine, chickenpox is given at 15 months. But if your child is unable to get, it can still be given at 2 years. Typhoid vaccine. Then in the past, we have the cerebrospinal meningitis vaccine given at 2 years. But now, government has introduced it into the national program of immunization. It's now given at 2 months. So at 2 years, your child may only be missing the chickenpox vaccine and the typhoid vaccine. All others will have been covered. All other vaccination will have been taken by the child if they follow the national program on immunization. So I hope I am cleared with that. So I just finished talking about HPV, human papilloma virus vaccine. This has been introduced into our national program on immunization. So if any of our listeners have any of their children that are who are female between the ages of 10 to 14, adolescents, they are meant to be taken to the health center to get the HPV vaccine, human papilloma virus. For now, the government is giving single doses to our children. My daughter will be 6 by next month. Can I give her the vaccine? Are you talking about 6 months or 6 years? Okay, truly booster doses of vaccine are given at 5 years. It's not that we can't give it at 6 years, but most children by the ages of 6, they have started to develop immunity from all the ones they have taken when they are about 2 years. So, but booster doses are normally given at 5 years. If you're, okay, 6 years, thank you, Mrs. Uju. So if your daughter missed the one that is supposed to be taken before the ages of 2, they can still be taken at age 6 years or taken as booster dose. But although 5 is what we use, but if for any reason you have access to it, you can still give to the child. But a 6-year-old child is expected to have developed some form of immunity. That's why we put age 5. Because as at that age 5, they are still struggling to have their immunity to be fully fortified before they enter primary school, preschool, which we call preschool. So if you have the access, or if you have access to it, why not? You can give it. You not cause the child any harm. But booster doses are normally given at age 5. Thank you, Mrs. Uju Eli, for that feedback. So, like I said at the beginning, for the next 1 week, that's from Wednesday, that's today's time, 24th, from 24th of this month to the end of the month. There will be campaign all over the media because the World Immunization Week is normally led for the last week in the month of April. So there will be campaign all over everywhere on our radio, all over the media. We also should preach the gospel, tell others on the reason why they needed to get their children vaccinated. So government will be doing this and bringing the vaccination. And one other vaccine or vaccination that schedule that our children may be exposed to very soon is the meningitis vaccine. It was all over the news last week. Nigeria is the first country to put all the 5 strains, the vaccine that can take care of 5 different vaccines for meningitis, that can take care of 5 different strains of meningitis inside one injection. This has been launched last week and is a breakthrough. Thing for Nigeria because we are the first all over the world that is able to put 5 vaccines for meningitis inside one injectable. So we are the first to achieve that. So we no need to go and be taking a meningitis vaccine first dose, second dose, or take another type of the meningitis vaccine. So very soon, the government will launch it to be given as a single dose to our children in the health facilities. So from Ayaba, Mrs. Ayaba, well done, doctor. Well done. Thanks for following us on the group. We appreciate your support and you following us. So let's also let others know about this vaccination. You see people out there with young children, encourage them. It is totally free in our public health centers, which are in all the local governments, which are also in all the world. Like I said, somebody has paid for it. The donor agencies, our government, the government of UK, US, and they have supported in one way. Anytime they are doing national immunization days or state immunization days, these are the ones that the people carry house to house. Once government declare it, all our children that are less than 5, we should encourage them, whether they have taken it before or not. This is just because of the phenomenon that we call herd immunity. If government is able to immunize more than 80% of the population, many of these diseases will be eradicated, what we call herd immunity. That's why you have to encourage others to also take these vaccines. So if you have 80% of the people in the school, in the community get immunized, these diseases, they will not have where to stay. From Ezishi Umbagu, Mrs. My daughter has blisters that appear on her body that now open up and have wounds and dry out living marks. She is 13 months old. What causes it and what is the cure? There are many causes for blisters. Blisters could be from bacteria, what we call impetigo, or it could be from bacterial skin infection. Blisters, sometimes, some tiny blister could also be from chicken pox. We don't know. The thing about a condition that happen on the skin is seeing. The doctor have to see to make a diagnosis. You said it dries out living marks. Okay, your child's skin could also be sensitive. Some children with sensitive skin, once they have rashes, by the time that rashes go, or by the time they itch or scratch the rash, they are most likely they will have scars left. Those ones, so many of them have sensitive skin. So, but this rash that you mentioned, if it keeps coming back, you may need to go back to see the doctor. Like I have said, the causes could be bacteria. We have bacterial skin infection like impetigo. We have viral skin infection like measles, or we also have the chicken pox. So it could be any one of these ones. You need to see your doctor, even though the one your child is having is not likely to be measles, because measles is a very serious disease. The child will come down with fever, the child will come down with cough, the eyes will be red, the eyes will be discharging, the mouth will be red. You know, the scars of measles will even disfigure the child's body. So this one is not likely to be measles, but it could be any others that we have mentioned. So you may need to let the child have a review by a pediatrician. Thank you, Mrs. Umbagu. So going back to what we are saying about the immunization, so that pentavalent meningitis vaccine, that's 5 different strains of vaccine, is all over the news. Last week, Nigeria is the first that is able to put 5 vaccines for meningitis inside one. So very soon are going to use of the opportunity. I want us to key into it and make use of the opportunity to get this vaccine. So these are This is what we have talked about this week. Immunization being the World Immunization Week, which is celebrated all over the world, in all the countries of the world. And I said earlier that through immunization, smallpox has been eradicated. Then through immunization, polio is under defeat. Polio is being defeated, but very soon polio self will be eradicated. So also, let me just talk about briefly COVID-19 vaccine briefly. For our parents, I want to encourage the adults, our parents who are here to get vaccinated with COVID-19 vaccine. They should make use of the opportunity. Is there out there that COVID is back, even though not in the endemic level, not everywhere, but some people have been admitted in various hospitals for COVID-19 disease. So I encourage our parents that are here to make sure they get this vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccine. Also, our mothers that are here, yes, the group is mainly full of mothers, nursing mothers. Those of us that started our tetanus immunization, TT or TD, tetanus diphtheria or tetanus toxoid, while we are pregnant. Some people took only one while they are pregnant, some took two. The truth is that for nursing mother or mothers within childbearing age, between the ages of 18 and 45, they are meant to have 5 doses of tetanus immunization. This helps them to prevent their children from getting, while the children are in utero, while they are pregnant. It helps their children from having neonatal tetanus when they are born. So we encourage all our parents, all our nursing mothers to make sure they complete the 5 doses of the tetanus immunization, which is for all pregnant and nursing mothers. Let's go back home and check our cards, the one we are using when we are pregnant of our babies. Let's go back and check to be sure that we've already completed the 5. The first one is normally given in the pregnancy. The second one is given a month after. The third one is given 6 months after. The fourth one is given a year after. And the fifth one is also given a year after. 5 doses. And this one, for those that have taken the 5 doses of the tetanus toxoid vaccine, this one will protect them for life. It will protect them for life. So we encourage all our mothers, we encourage all our parents to make sure they take the tetanus toxoid vaccine. If we all do this together, we can eradicate neonatal tetanus from the world, from our environment, from our children. Even though we know the uptake of this tetanus toxoid design is not common in the cities, because even in the city, people observe some hygienic procedure. But the truth is that neonatal tetanus still happens in our communities, in our villages, where people deliver in unhygienic places, where people don't go for antenatal care. So we encourage our mothers to also go for antenatal care. During this period, they get this immunization. Then also our pregnant mothers and our nursing mothers, I want to encourage you once again, make sure you take COVID-19 vaccine. Let's make use of the opportunity. We don't want COVID-19 to be back. We don't want COVID-19 to visit us at that epidemic level again. Once we are able to get to the herd immunity, once we have more than 80% of all our mothers, of all the population getting vaccinated, we are able to eradicate a COVID-19 vaccine. Then lastly, I want to talk to our mothers who are probably hepatitis B positive, or to our mothers whose partners, whose husbands are hepatitis B positive. They need to also get immunized for hepatitis B. For those that have partners with hepatitis B a positive status, they need to get complete doses of hepatitis B that we give to adults. The first dose, the 1 month dose, and the 6 month dose. All mothers with partners with hepatitis B, or all partners of mothers with hepatitis B, or partners of pregnant women with hepatitis B, they are all encouraged to take the complete doses of the hepatitis B vaccine so that they will not get infected. We don't want any of our mother whose partners are already infected to also get infected. And the only way to protect this is through hepatitis B vaccine. So if you observe all this, we'll be able to totally eradicate this condition all over the world. And I also want to tell our parents to please let's keep our children immunization card very well. For those of us that have them online, let's save them in the cloud, in places that are very safe, that will not lose. For those that have their immunization card as a hard copy, as a card, they are meant to keep this immunization status, this immunization cards very well, so that in the future it may be required, or in the future they may be administering other vaccines, just to know if the child has taken that before, whether the child has taken that before or not. So immunization cards should be kept securely, should be kept safely, so that our parents can all go back there. Then lastly, I'm concluding now. I want us to observe all the precautions for communicable disease by washing our hands. Hand washing helps to eliminate so many diseases. Let's wash our hands. When we see those that already have the infection, let's isolate. Like some children that are having chickenpox, let's isolate them. For those that are not having, for children that are coughing, let them cover their mouth. We need to observe all this, because getting immunization does not mean that one can still not have diseases. Somebody that be immunized can still have the disease. The only thing is that those that are already immunized, even if they have the diseases, it's not going to be deadly. It's not going to bring them down. It's not going to be deadly. The type of the diseases that we have will be very mild compared to children that have not been immunized. So we have come to the end of this discussion this evening on immunization. If you have any question after, we can put it on the Facebook group. Our moderators, our professionals will be willing to attend to your questions. We'll be willing to get feedback from you. I want to wish you a beautiful evening. I wish all your children to a beautiful evening. Till next week, when Dr. Ogbemi Solaboyede, our CEO, will be with us. So I'm not sure I can take this question because I just have 1 minute. Let me try, because the thing will go off in 1 minute time. A baby of 3 weeks started bringing up food after feeding and burping since 1 week plus. It happens like 5 hours after feed. It's as though it chokes on the milk. When what have been happened to the hospital, and was told it will outgrow it. Try to reduce the amount that you give the baby at a time, and try to also, thank God you said you have gone to the hospital. Try to reduce the amount you give at a time. Though if your baby is 3 weeks, we encourage you, do exclusive breastfeeding. Do exclusive breastfeeding, then put the baby up. For exclusive breastfeeding, this choking will be reduced. So with that, you'll be able to manage the baby. Then when you are going for your 6 weeks immunization, please complain to them at the immunization center. They'll be there to give you the help. I wish you baby well, like you have been told, the baby will outgrow it. So we have come to the end today. Bye-bye to everyone. I hope to see your lovely comments the next time we are chatting. Thank you. Good evening.